Hey, what's up guys? Jerry here, aka Barnacules, and today I wanted to give you guys an update on everything that's going on in my life as it pertains to weight loss, some other things you might not know about it, anxiety and depression, the whole works. I want to sit down and get this all out in the open because I promised you guys when I started my weight loss journey that I was going to create one of these to update you and hold myself accountable, and I didn't do that for over a month. So today, we're going to get the train back on track. So guys, this is going to be a highly random video, so I suggest you just sit back and enjoy the ride. Alright, so let's start off with my trip to New York Makerfaire at the beginning of the month. My diet was doing awesome. Every single day I was eating 1,900 calories or less. I was logging everything in MyFitnessPal, and I had lost a total of 32 pounds. Down from 310 down to 278. It was absolutely amazing. I was so happy with myself and I felt great. Now fast forward a little and I go to New York, and it is a huge energetic place, and we're staying in a district where it's really well known for its food, and of course Ultimaker's wining and dining me. People are taking me out to lunches and dinner, and I have to admit I caved. I wanted to try new things, so I started eating the food, and I just convinced myself that, you know what, I'm just here for a couple of days. I'm going to enjoy the cuisine. Then I'm going to come back to Washington, and I'm going to get right back onto logging everything in MyFitnessPal, and everything will be golden. Well, after having such an energetic time in New York, when I flew back, I was actually hugely depressed. I had this huge crash of energy when I got home. I can't really explain it beyond that. In New York, everything was going good. It was high energy output. Everything was great. The second I landed back in Washington, it was like seasonal depression kicked in or something, and I literally could not drag myself out of bed. So for the days that followed, I pretty much just sat around and ate whatever I want and didn't log anything into MyFitnessPal, and I kept telling my wife over and over, you know what, I'll start logging tomorrow, I'm not feeling that good. I kept making excuses. Now fast forward almost 3 weeks, and I've still been making those excuses. Only 2 days have I got back into logging things into MyFitnessPal, and both times I blew over my 1,900 calorie limit, and I just kept on going. Now to give you guys some background, if you haven't seen the previous videos, my total caloric intake a day has to be around 2,600 calories to maintain my weight, and it has to be at a 500 or more deficit to start losing weight at a decent pace. Well, needless to say, I've been eating at or above that 2,600 calories, which is where I don't want to be. Now, the good news is I haven't gained much weight. My lowest weight was 278, and I just weighed myself before doing this video, and I'm only 281. So I'm only up 3 pounds from my lowest weight, even after these 3 weeks, which tells me that putting on the weight is equally slow as to losing it, as long as you're not going too crazy. Now, I obviously don't want to justify that behavior. That's why I'm making this video right now, is to commit to you guys that I am going to get back on track and start logging everything in MyFitnessPal. As a matter of fact, Miss Barnacules has been doing it since the beginning. She hasn't had a single day where she didn't enter all of her information, and as a result, she's down 32 pounds. She's lost more weight than I have, and she started at 40 pounds lighter. And I'll tell you what, she is looking good, guys. She is looking really good, and she's feeling good, and I can see it in her personality and her emotions as they contrast with mine, and I want to get back there. And the reason I'm getting back on the horse is because of her. She kept doing it. She's not being an enabler. She's showing me that she can stay the course, and she's inviting me to join back in. Now, I can tell you guys right now from experience, this absolutely works. If you calculate your total daily energy expenditure and you drop a couple hundred calories off that, and you do that every single day regardless of what you eat, you are going to lose weight. Now, there are other factors that come into it. Nutritionists will bitch and complain every time I make a video saying, oh, you got to worry about your macros, you got to worry about your vitamins, you got to worry. I don't. I'm severely overweight, guys. I don't have to worry about that crap for a good long time because I'm still getting everything I need, even at the deficit. So guys, don't worry. If you're a nutritionist shaking your head right now, just simmer down. Simmer down. I will get to that point where I start monitoring the nutrition. But right now, if you are an obese guy like me, just dropping your caloric intake is going to have a huge impact. Now, one thing I've stayed committed to for the most part is not drinking my calories, and I think that is a huge reason why I haven't put on weight rapidly over the last 3 weeks. I still only drink black coffee. When Jay was up here from California for the Dirtfish thing, I had a couple of skinny caramel macchiatos with him, and those did have some milk and some calories in them, like 300 calories. But other than those few drinks that I had with him, I still kept everything sugar-free or something that's just coffee or tea or water. So now let's get back to when I returned from New York, the depression that I was in. Literally, it lasted for weeks. I kept trying to pull myself out of it. And to be honest, it took Jay's 2 cents flying up here from California to kick my ass in gear, because I really needed a friend to come up here and show me that I'm not crazy, because I just feel defeated. Even on days where everything goes smooth and everything's successful, I feel completely defeated and unmotivated. So I definitely want to thank Jay for flying up here and actually going and doing the Dirtfish thing with me. He already has his video up on his channel about the experience. Mine will be up early next week, but we both drove rally cars for a whole day and had a film crew out there and everything, with drones and stabilized cameras and everything, and it was an absolute blast, and it really boosted my spirits. Jay was really happy with it, and it just made me realize that I need to start enjoying life more. Now, another thing that I want to talk about that's a little bit harder to talk about, and it's not that it's a secret or anything, I've talked about it on Tech Talk and stuff like that before, is that I have to take opiate-based pain medication every day for my back. I have a condition where I have a giant bone spur sticking off my L4 vertebrae, and it lays right on top of my sciatic nerve, which is your main nerve bundle that goes down through your legs. Every time I take a step or bend over, I can feel a click in my back where that bone is just rubbing back and forth over the nerve. Now, they said they could operate on it and remove the bone spur, but there's a pretty high chance of paralysis because of where the nerve is and how they have to cut the bone. So they recommended that I try to manage the pain until it becomes so bad that having it operated on, the odds, don't really matter at that point, because I'm in so much pain. If I come out a paraplegic and no pain, that's the better option. But right now I'm not at that point. So they've been treating it with opiate-based pain medication for 4 years now. Now, a lot of you guys might not know this, but opiate pain medication, your body becomes immune to it, and you have to increase the dosage over time, because eventually your body just won't work with it at all anymore, because your brain keeps adjusting to the chemical changes. And then what happens, you eventually hit a point where you have to come off the pain medication, go through severe withdrawal, and then you lose that tolerance. Then you go back on the pain medication and reset, rinse and repeat, and start over.
It's not fun.
So needless to say, over the last 4 years, my dosage has gone up on the medication, and my doctor just recently increased it again because of back problems that I've been having that have been getting increasingly bad. And I have to tell you that last increase in pain medication, I immediately noticed a lot more short-term memory loss. I noticed a lot more kind of lethargic feeling and being tired, whereas I didn't have that at my previous dosage. And it led to me having a wake-up call. And that is, at this point, I believe that I'm dependent on this drug. I believe that it's come to the point where it's no longer just suppressing my pain. My body is literally addicted to it. So as such, what I've decided to do is start weaning myself off the pain medication and learning to live with the back pain. It's not pleasant. The back pain is absolutely terrible, and it scares me to death. But what scares me to death more, honestly, is having my mood and my personality die over time because I basically become a drug addict. Now, the drugs that I take are heavily monitored. My doctor meets with me every 6 months. I have a certain amount that I can take within a certain period of time, and it's highly regulated. That being said, I'm still going to call it what it is. I've become dependent on that drug, and I don't like being dependent on that drug, and I'm just sick of it. I don't want to be there anymore. I feel like it's starting to alter my personality to a place where I don't want to be. So over the last week, I've been weaning myself off of the drug. Now, you can't just go cold turkey off of opiates. Even at fairly low dosages, you'll have pretty bad withdrawal symptoms, including flu-like symptoms and stuff like that. So over the last week, I've been weaning myself down, and I'm now down to 1/3 of the dose that I was on, which is almost the smallest dose you can take at this point. And other than feeling a little bit like congested and a little bit sore and my back hurting, I actually feel pretty good. And I've noticed that my short-term memory loss is going away. And I've noticed that I've actually been a lot more motivated to do things, including playing video games, which is something that I haven't really enjoyed doing in a long time. So it became abundantly clear to me that all these years I've been making a lot of excuses because I didn't want to be in pain. And so the alternative, though, was to become kind of stupid and defensive and angry, and all of these side effects that I was basically being defensive over all these times. I'm now accepting that, no, that's the drug. That's the drug talking. And even though my doctor acknowledges that I need the pain management, I'm actually going to have a talk with him and say, you know what, we need to search for alternatives, because I'm done with the opiates. After 4 years, I've noticed too much of a change in my personality, and I'm not enjoying it. Now, I've also decided to stop taking my Adderall. I have ADHD. I've been taking Adderall for a very, very long time in a very small dose. It's actually the smallest dose that they can give you to get any kind of effect. But it's one of those things where I just want to get off the pharmaceuticals. I'm just done with it. And before all you weed proponents come out and be like, smoke weed, it cures cancer, cures depression, cures everything, it makes everything great. I already tried that, guys. It didn't work. That was before the opiates came in. So I can tell you right now that that whole avenue just doesn't work for me. Some people just are not compatible with marijuana in any way, shape, or form, and I happen to be one of those people where regardless of strain, regardless of THC or CBD or anything like that, it all has the same effect of making me feel nauseous and making me feel very, very dizzy and disconnected and cloudy, and I don't like that sensation at all. Some people do. And some people like the pain benefits that come along with that sensation, but not me. I literally cannot stand it. And trust me, I didn't just try it once. I tried it for a good long time to see if I would get used to it. And no, it just doesn't work with me. So in a nutshell, I don't know if this is stuff I should be telling you guys in a vlog, but it's stuff that I feel like I want to get off my chest and stuff that I want to fix. And I think that these videos help me stay accountable. They really help me lose that first 30 pounds. And I figure if I just stay on it and I just keep doing videos like this, more for me than for you guys to come back on. It'll help correct me and keep me on that course. Also, just to clarify too, I won't go into like the specific medication I was taking or the specific dosages, but even after 4 years, I was still considered only halfway of the dose that you'd actually need to get a pain doctor involved with. So it was still a relatively low dose, but it crossed that zone where I really started to notice a difference in my personality and my motivation and who I am. And I absolutely love who I am. I used to have so much energy. I used to be so hyperactive. Even being a big dude like I am now, it never affected me. I was always out riding bikes. I was always out doing stuff. I didn't care if I was in pain. I was still out there doing more. Played paintball, all kinds of stuff. And I really feel that over the years, I've kind of lost that. The pain medication has been slowly making me more and more lethargic, more and more defensive, and more just kind of not fully awake and fully alert. And even in the last week, weaning myself off of the drug, I've noticed a huge improvement in my energy level. And you guys can probably even attest to that watching my last video or two, that I seem a lot more together than I have over the last couple of months. So quick recap, I'm back on board and losing weight. I'm at 281 right now. We're still heading for 200. I decided that I'm just gonna stop taking all my pharmaceutical drugs with the exception of the allopurinol, which is for my gout, which I would like to report right now is actually doing quite well. I have not had a gout flare-up or an attack at all. So on my next physical, as long as my uric acid levels are a little bit below normal, I can probably come off the allopurinol. Also, and that means I won't have to take any more pharmaceutical drugs at all, and that would make me so happy you guys would not even know. And I'm not saying pharmaceutical drugs are bad. Please do not read into it that way. The Percocet literally saved my life. That's the opiate. I said I wasn't going to say what opiate was, but hey, there it is. It's Percocet. The Percocet improved my quality of life greatly for the year or two that I really, really needed it. But again, the effects just keep becoming cumulative, and it's got to a point where it's now the cons outweigh the pros, and that's no fun. At that point, it's no longer doing what I needed to do, and I'm just gonna have to find better ways to cope with the pain. Now, on a separate note, again, talking about the Dirtfish Rally School thing, I had a blast with Jay. We both went out and did an entire one-day rally course, each having our own car and our own private instructor. And I have to say, Jay can drive. He had a rough start to his day, and you'll see that if you go watch the video on his channel. Had quite a few spin-outs and hit quite a few cones, but he grasped it really, really quick. And by the end of the day, he was actually keeping up with me pretty well. One thing going into this, and Jay already knew this, is I already have over 13 days of instruction behind the wheel of a rally car. It wasn't a BRZ, it was an STI, but a lot of the same stuff applied. And so I had a really good day. I was actually really, really relaxed most of the day, with the exception of the very end where I was really pushing hard. And I had a blast. So guys, I hope you watch that video when I get it out early next week, and I hope to do a whole lot more stuff like that over on the Cargasm channel that I'm starting up right now. And I'll actually have a link to the Cargasm channel below. We don't have any content on there yet, but we're trying to get enough people over there subscribed that I can go ahead and properly name the channel and start working it. Also, on a separate note, look what I got back here, guys. I picked up a iPad Pro and the pen. And you guys are probably laughing at me right now, going, oh my God, apples for poor people. Well, let me tell you the story. So my friend took me out for my birthday a little bit early. My birthday's actually October 30th. But he took me out for a birthday dinner just a couple days ago. And we went to Costco, and I saw this, and I was like, you know what? I really want it because it was cheaper than it was at the Apple store. So I bought it. And then we went over to Best Buy after that because they didn't have any pens and I wanted to buy the pen. And at Best Buy, they had this listed for like $700. And I was like, that can't be right. So I went and talked to a manager and it was mislabeled, but he still honored the price. So I got an iPad Pro 128 gigabyte for $700. But I had to pay full price for the pen. So, but still, it was a pretty good deal. It was like getting the pen free and then some. So I couldn't pass that up. So I will be doing a quick unboxing and review of this bad boy very, very soon. Also coming up will be my review of the Form Labs Form 2 SLA 3D printer. Now that thing prints with liquid resin and lasers. Not gonna lie, it's an incredibly expensive way to print, but the results are freaking fantastic. This is Barnacules right here, and I'll be showing you this guy and some of the other prints in an upcoming video review of this. And I can tell you right now, I've never seen a 3D printer, even an industrial 3D printer, print better than this thing does. It absolutely blows my mind. But again, it's cost prohibitive if you're printing large things, but if you're printing very small detailed things, it's absolutely amazing. If you are into 3D printing, I highly recommend checking out the Form 2. It's absolutely just a brilliant printer. Also, this is my certificate from my day at Dirtfish the other day, and it's actually signed by Connor Martell. He put sweep the leg, because you guys haven't seen the Global Rallycross footage because I haven't edited and uploaded it yet. But I told him to sweep the leg when he went out, and he actually won. And then at the end of the day, he podiumed first place for the GRC light cars. So he thought he'd pay it forward and put sweep the leg on my certificate. And yes, I know that completion is spelled wrong, but it made it all that much more special. So there's no way in hell I'm going to let him correct that after he signed it. This is staying in the Nerd Cave forever. So guys, I think that about wraps it up. I found some of the problems that were causing my depression and anxiety, and I'm actively doing things to correct them. I wavered off of my diet a little bit, but I'm getting right back on it because it is a lifestyle change, it is long-term, and I've come to the conclusion that you can't say, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow. You have to just do it and say start right now, because I am proof of it. I said, I'll just start tomorrow, I'll just start tomorrow. When I got back from New York, 3 weeks just blew by and I didn't even realize it, guys. So anything that you can do tomorrow, you can start today. That's what I hope your takeaway is from this video, guys. Don't let life screw you. You do the screwing. And I hope you guys all have a very nice day. I just chugged an entire cup of cold coffee. Till next time. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please take a moment and subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot. Also come over to Twitter. I'm at Barnacules. I'm a real social guy. Also, if you have a couple of minutes, check out some of these many other videos. I made them myself.